Welcome to TLTV, Joy and Pleasure Celebrated in Wine. Today I'm here at Château Moulin de la Rose, and Moulin de la Rose is a small winery in Saint-Julien, and they make one wine, and I actually have two samples of this wine. I have one's the 2011 and the 2012. With regards to vinification, they use 65% Cabernet Sauvignon and 35% Merlot. The vinification happens in steel tanks. The primary, or let's say the alcoholic fermentation and the malolactic fermentation are all done in steel tanks. Then the wine is transferred in these barrels behind me, and it is actually aged in barrique for around 20 months, depending vintage. And I'd say let's have a look what we discover here. As this is like another smaller chateau surrounded by all the big chateaus. And because, for example, if you look down the road, you find Chateau Gloria is next door, Chateau Bechevel is not far away. It's actually, the terroir is very, very interesting. And if you go by the nose, you get some light cherries. Of course, the wine is still very young. That is something, it's a wine that you should keep for some additional time, but we found the best glass for the wine to really show itself, show its personality. And if you just look at the actual color, and this is the interesting part, and I'm trying, my arms are not long enough, but if you look, it's a beautiful dark red. It is a very velvety, the nose, very light cherries, but of course it's still very young, it needs additional time. It's light. Interesting enough, you get a lot of, let's say, licorice. You get some little salty notes as well in the wine. It has some spice on the finish. Has wonderful red berries. You get some blackberries. It's a moderate finish, but it just needs to age more. It needs a lot more time. And for me, it's like, how do you score a wine like this? For me, it's around 87 points, 88. It's a wonderful wine. I really enjoy it. And it's something you should try out. So when you're around here, basically try this. And 3 to 4 years more time to just age and really show itself. 2011 is a vintage where, if you look at the color, of course, it looks very similar to the 2012. Beautiful red color. Absolutely delightful. But if you just see, the nose is very, very different. This is interesting. So 2011 was a year as well that produced wines with very uppity tannins. 2011, I always say, if you watch some of the videos of my visits to chateaus here in Bordeaux, 2011 is a year that you can really keep the wines very long. And if you just look at this, there's some wonderful toastiness to the nose. I quite enjoy that. This is like a little bit of barnyard in the distance. A little bit like of ash. I don't know. It's a has some white pepper. So some wonderful licorice. A smudge of leather as well you get in there, but of course it's very young. And it has wonderful warm fruit in the scent. So you get the red fruits, but they're nicely warm, they're elegant, they're a bit more compressed. And the tannins, and this is what I expected for the 2011 vintage. It just is a little bit more tannic, and it's really a wine to keep. And this is something you can drink very well in around 4 to 6 years. Give it a little bit longer than the 2012. But this is a very enjoyable wine. And the style, for me, if you look at the score, I give this a clear 88 points. It's a wonderful wine that is a true pleasure. And I think this can go to 90. Give this some time, because the nose is just has everything it needs to deliver very well. And this already is the end of my visit. As we have two wines as a smaller chateau, but it's been a wonderful experience. So I'd like to thank the team at the Château Moulin de la Rose for basically having me, letting me taste the wines. Visit the winery, you should watch that. There'll be a little clip as well about the vinification process in the winery. And I'd say let's go for new wine adventures. And as always, I wish you wonderful wines, wonderful food, excellent people, and of course, excellent wine discussions. See you again soon. Ciao.